name's Harry Dr. Evans. I'm going to be here recording my submission for the NSE in partnership with Code Redcaster competition. I'm coming here from Portsmouth University, and we're going to be watching one of their games, specifically Invulnerables Blue. They're going to be taking on Hertfordshire White, who, surprisingly enough, representing the University of Hertfordshire. Now, it's obviously the Portsmouth Blue on the blue side of the map. Hertfordshire White, maybe there isn't a white side of the map, so they'll be playing on the red instead. Now, I didn't get a chance to look at the champion select quite yet coming into this game, but I just want to take a second to go over the sort of picks that we've seen here so far. Now, I know a little bit more about the Portsmouth team, of course. I know things like these are slightly more comfort picks for them. Interestingly enough, I thought Initiator was actually a top lane player because he liked to play Initiate champions, but it looks like he's instead playing the mid lane this game round. So Vel'Koz, I don't really know how well he actually does on that. Rai really just likes to play anything that does sort of like on-hit damage. I know he plays a lot of Cogmore. I think Varus isn't too dissimilar to that, so he'll be happy on that one. CJ likes to play Enchanter support, so Janet lines up right. I'm going to assume that coming into this game, Rakan was banned because that is CJ's absolute all-time favourite champion. And we take a second to look over to the Hertfordshire side. They've actually got a pretty decent comp, whereas the Portsmouth side looks a little bit more, hey, comfort pick. They've got a little bit of poke, tanks, disengage, really good as well. It's not a terrible comp, but it's not too meta at the same time. When you look over at the Hertfordshire side, it's actually pretty decent. They've got Olaf top with Conqueror, actually pretty strong on this patch. You can use that rune really well. Ezreal, obviously a top tier ADC. Sejuani, a top tier jungler. Thresh, really strong support, and Ezreal Thresh is a pretty decent lane, especially when Ezreal starts to get a bit more AP. He gets his Sork shoes and whatnot. You get a fair amount of burst coming out in that lane. Although we do see the Guardian coming out from Thresh as opposed to Aftershock. Personally, I think Aftershock may be a superior rune choice. And then Ari, pretty decent mid laner right now. Maybe not the best, but pretty good. And I think she does okay into the Vel'Koz. If we want to talk about matchups, though, we do have to point out it's obviously Trundle versus Sejuani. That's a matchup that goes really well for the Trundle because he can obviously ult, and that's going to take away a lot of her armor and magic resist. But we see how the Sejuani had her passive changed recently, so that it gave a bit of a less of a spike of armor and magic resist. That means that the Trundle ultimate is a little bit less effective versus her than it maybe once was. But still not bad at all, so we're going to dive straight on into this one. Looks like we're going to see pretty standard point defense coming here. Rai, a little bit AFK, so he's chilling out in the base, but already Sniper Princess here on the Olaf is a little bit stuck in a 1v2. He is not too sure what's going on here, but looks like nobody else in the game actually knows either, so he's going to be just minding his own business, and I have no idea where he's gone. My camera is bugging very hard. He's still in the bush. There he goes. Alright. That was... yeah, okay. Fog of War doing a pretty good job there, but it's like maybe now people start to know where Sniper Princess might be. He's going to walk up and try and dish out some damage onto Coagulate, but thinks maybe it's not the best idea. Although the Olaf is going to win this one pretty early, and we see that Liam Massey, I'm not sure. Liam has already taken Permafrost on that Sejuani, so if they wanted to go for some all-in, you are going to have a pretty decent time early on, but they think maybe level 1 all-in in a competitive setting isn't the best move, so they shy away from that decision for now. It's like we're going to see pretty standard starts. Both junglers looking to start on their bottom sides of the map. There's some nice warding coming out as well. We actually don't see anyone put a ward on the Pixel side of the bush, but Pixel bot side, but we are seeing it out on the top side, and I'm guessing this game was pretty evenly matched. I don't know how it ends. This is not a live. I had to get the replay off of CJ Shaw. But he tells me it's a pretty good game, pretty quality. This is played on patch 9.5. It's like... no, 9.5. It's from this week, so yeah. Yeah, that patch is definitely out. Sorry, I get confused. I do some work on Tournament Run, but we see Coagulate taking a lot of damage because this is Olaf level 1. He's actually forced to flash on out. Super Princess could go for the flash follow-up, but didn't have mana for any more than one Undertow, so opted to not take it. But yeah, that's the power of the Olaf level 1, especially when you've got Conqueror. You're really going to start stacking up that adaptive force. So a little bit of action, but not too much heading on. Now we're seeing junglers just looking to take their Scuttle crowds. We see Liam go for the top side one, and then we're seeing James Dokes go for the bottom side. He's going to move up, try and maybe get a little bit of an invade onto the blue buff, but he's going to spot out, but it's not there, so he's not going to be able to find it. Now it looks like he might actually want to come in for a gank into the middle lane here, so try to take over the camera just a little bit. He's going to sit in the bush, and now he's going to move on in. Actually taking the pillar, level 2, going to be able to knock up the Ari. She's going to be able to just get out through that crack in the wall there. And so sort of no harm, no foul, but by having that E level 2, you actually lose a lot of offensive capability, something he might need as he moves on into a jungle here. Going to face off against Sejuani. Sejuani, is she going to be able to smite that one away? Yes, she is. Manages to secure the blue buff. Has the priority top, has the priority mid. James Stokes doesn't care. He's going to flash on in. Level 2 versus level 3. He has the disadvantage. Pillar just about to come up, but not quite in time. Very aggressive play from James Stokes. Even when all of the odds were very much not in his favor, but does manage to push Liam out of there, but Liam is A-okay with how that one went. Now Tango going to take a lot of damage, gets knocked up, and actually has to flash out. So it gets hit by the full combo from Initiator, but Initiator uses a fair bit of mana on that one, so might have to play this lane a little bit safer, but definitely the victor coming out of that matchup. Of course, we see Initiator has taken Cleanse. This is very, very much a good idea when you're playing versus Ari, you're playing versus Sejuani. On a mobile champion like Vel'Koz, the Ignite maybe could have helped in that situation, but really in Vel'Koz, especially in this matchup, you're never going to be in range to use it. So maybe he's thinking that a little bit, maybe could have got a kill with a more aggressive choice, but that cleanse is definitely going to help out later on. But the game seems to be just calming down a little bit. You know, junglers farming, laners are recalling as we see Tengoku goes, you know what, maybe that's not enough for me. Sorry, maybe that is enough for me. He's going to piece on out of there. Gluongulate taking another bit of damage here. Actually, managing trade off pretty well. He has the minions on his side. Super Princess going low, forced to flash out. The flash used earlier by the Cho'Gath, so not able to follow up, but he's still going to try and run him down. Going to move into the bush, and now Ghost Princess has to go for one. He's going pretty low, and the knockup comes in. The silence as well. Gluongulate picks up the first blood. 400 gold in his pocket there. Very admirable, being able to pick up the first blood versus Olaf on your first buy while nobody's recalled yet. That is pretty good. Having that advantage in top lane is really going to help him out, because that Cho'Gath is going to become a monster later on. Olaf, and you're playing him in lane, he's very much for the lane champion, so cannot underestimate how important that's going to be for the Invulnerables blue side. A little bit of damage coming out in the bot lane, but just a little bit of standard harass. Nothing particularly fancy going on. We should take a moment to point out, though, there is not a lot of vision coming out in this game quite just yet. You know, we're seeing one ward from each team, both on the bottom side, which is where both junglers are, so that's pretty useful, but let's see if that ends up meaning a lot later on. Charm going to connect on Initiator under tower. He's going to take a fair bit of damage. Actually throws the knockup pretty wide, but still manages to get a roughly even trade. And it looks like that Olaf has not been dissuaded, but maybe he should have been. He starts to take a fair bit of damage. He's taking creep aggro as well, but still manages to make an even trade. Picks up the axe, but I'm going to assume he doesn't get the kill. His directed camera has taken us away from the action, but now brings us back in. The silence comes through and does a little bit more. He needs one Q, one undertow, and then the true damage from the E maybe going to be enough, but does not connect the undertow. So it looks like Cho'Gath just getting out of this one alive for now. Tornado coming across, going to knock up that Sejuani, maybe try and dissuade the gank, but the flash is available for Chicken God. He's going to hit the hook, he's going to go in, he's going to hit the flay, it's going to take right out. He's forced to use heal, flashes away, but the kill's still secured by the ignite of the Thresh. Now Initiator wants a little bit of action in the mid lane. He's going to cleanse out the ignite damage, but it's not enough because the cannon creep. Gonna go ahead and take him down. So the solo kill picked up there, but there's action on the third side of the map as James Goats moves on top. He's gonna get the silence down. Sorry, the slow and the pillar, and Gluongulate gonna pick up that kill. I feel it's an important time to mention that I'm a color caster by trade, so you know, definitely entering this competition as a color caster. Play by play, I like to think it's not too bad, but color definitely where I have more experience. So I'm going to use that experience to break down a little bit of analysis. Kills picked up in the top lane pretty good. You get the tower placing gold. Maybe going to be able to pick up 2. Probably not a third. You don't have enough creeps. That wave's not coming in fast enough. Of course, we just saw after that gank bot lane, Sejuani, Thresh, and Ezreal all moving towards that Infernal Dragon. They picked that one up for themselves. Definitely, I'm going to say in favor of Hertfordshire, that play there. Both teams are trading a kill. Both teams are getting assist gold for it, but really, I'd rather have the Infernal Drake over 2 plates. Almost actually managing to get the third, I believe that was. Or like the second. We'll go and have a look. Ah, yeah, that was the third. That was the third. You can see it's on 3 health. That tower. Not sure how to make the mouse disappear, to be honest. I thought it would just go away by itself. But, oh, there it goes. So that one's piecing on out. We see really not too much going down once again. I won't lie, it's been a very long time since I've solo casted. You know, normally been at least one other person, so it takes time to fill some time here if I'm being just perfectly honest. It's good that this game's actually got high action in it. You know, we just saw 3 kills in 3 lanes. That was pretty good for me. You know, I haven't really got anyone to talk to over here, but it's not too bad. You know, we're seeing a little bit of potential action, I think, around the mid lane. Seeing both junglers are here. Liamasi just hitting 6, so going to be able to obviously use that Glacial Prison to come on in and try and pick up a kill with that bowler. We're going to move on into the lane, but not on the ward. Meanwhile, there's actually top lane, though, because the Ragnarok has been dropped. It looks like the Olaf dishing out some damage. The flash coming out from Cho'Gath, just able to not get hit by the Undertow, but is in a pretty spooky situation. The same can be said for the Hertfordshire bot lane. The player's going to come out and it's going to stop Chicken God, so it's an easy kill picked up. And look, they're going to be nice. They're going to hand it over to Rai, give your ADC some gold so he can get towards that Guinsoo's faster, as Gyeongle takes a trade that really I don't think he wants. The Sniper Princess just able to pick up the kill there in that 1v1 scenario. And I mean, it wasn't looking great. I mean, it was 2-0 for Gyeongle already. Maybe getting a little bit too confident, taking a very aggressive trade. I think the plan was to chunk him out just a little bit more and then use the feast damage. Maybe he was quite close to the range. I don't think he was close to getting the feast proc off, but we'll talk about that one in a minute because Initiator locked up. No cleanse available. Did use it earlier, and because of that, just going to go down pretty quickly to a pretty standard gank. That is, of course, why Initiator took the cleanse, but in those windows where it's not available, it is heavily punishable. So yeah, this Vel'Koz pick looks like it's not working out too much. He's already down on CS deficit, died 2 times. Smartly picking up, never mind, I'm going to say picking up the Mercury Treads, but deciding to refund it. I think it's definitely a smart choice here. Maybe he's close to getting a lost chapter. Yep, there it is. But I still think I would prefer the Mercury Treads in this situation versus such a CC heavy mid jungle combo. I mean, it's not. You look at the rest of the team, you've got Ezreal or Olaf. These are not champions known for their crowd control, but I still think that right now, those Mercs are the best choice for you if you are Initiator in this game. But with the Lost Chapter, you're going to be able to hang back a bit, spam out some spells. Maybe that's the thought process coming through from Initiator here. You can hang back, you can chill, you can sit out of range of all the CC. Liam starts up battle with a invisible red buff, but that one soon appearing. Going to be able to go ahead and grab that one for himself. Maybe look to use that as part of a gank. We're going to have to see. I mean, Sejuani already has a lot of CC, but that extra slow doesn't hurt too much. Now, bot lane, everybody's level 6. Ultimates all available. I mean, Jelly, he's got a few seconds, but we'll let that one slide. But I think Rai and CJ Shaw definitely have the stronger level 6 power spike, because this lane is now in their control. Despite on top of the fact that Rai obviously has the 1 kill advantage over Jelly, you can kind of ignore the kill that Chicken God has. He's only really invested into health. Not a bad idea by any means, but it's not going to help them win the lane, right? Maybe it stops them losing, but doesn't help them win. But Rai and CJ, they have tools to engage and disengage fights with their ultimate. CJ has flash up, so he can even engage fights as well. So speaking of which, Rai's going to throw out those chains. They go onto the Thresh. I said he's tanky, but he's just not tanky enough because we see Rai able to pick up the kill. CJ Shaw doing a good job of healing him up as well with that Monsoon. And like I said, they have control of the lane, so they pick up the kill. Meanwhile, we're looking to see Invulnerables maybe try something similar up at the top side of the map. They have both players there, and they're moving in towards that tower. It's pretty hard to dive an Olaf. We'll have to see if they're going to give it a go. Sniper Princess wants to say, no, yeah, try it. As he throws out a challenge, starts dishing in some damage. Meanwhile, Tengoku's using his ultimate in the mid lane, but also we're seeing ultimates used in the bottom lane as Sejuani comes in and is going to be able to pick up an easy double kill there with the ultimate. And the red buff I mentioned earlier, actually not working out too well because he couldn't hand over the kill because of it, but yeah, it works out enough. Also, whilst that was going on, there was a kill in the mid lane. I saw Tengoku was ulting under the tower, but I think maybe the cleanse went wide, and then I would assume Initiator just used the Lifeform Disintegration Ray to pick up the rest of that kill. But again, action in the top lane. If we take a second to look at the minimap, we can see a lot of grouping around the dragon. A lot of vision control there for Hertfordshire, and this means they're going to move on into the middle lane. This is just take out Initiator. He has both summoners up, and the flash is going to be used. Now the double slow coming out from Liam, and a very aggressive arcane shift there coming out from Ezreal. He's going to go shifting under that tower, and it works out, picks up the kill, and almost goes down to that ramped up tower shot. And speaking of people going down, Gyeongle just very easily dove by Sniper Princess. Again, the power of the Olaf in these earlier stages of the game. I mean, the game's not too early, sitting at 12 minutes. Towers are looking like they will fall soon. This top one being reduced to its final plate by Sniper Princess. Teleport is available to Cho'Gath, so I doubt that tower will go down if Cho'Gath feels confident enough to teleport up there. Because, there is a chance he TP's up and dies. Now, it's going pretty low. James is going to flash on in. He chomps it down. He smites it away, but doesn't quite secure it, so the dragon goes over to the red team. CJ Shaw tries to disengage that fight, but will still die to the Ignite. So far, we're looking at a 2-for-1. Just kidding, it's a 1-for-1, but again, definitely in favor of Hertfordshire. They pick up the Ocean Drake. Oh, I'm all over the place with that one. But Rift Herald was picked up pretty shortly before that fight started by James, though, so he did a really good job of picking up the Herald and then running down. He was pretty close on the smite, but a good DPS freeze there coming up from Hertfordshire means that James Ghost was put into a really sticky situation. The Dragon was not as low as he would have hoped, so he had to sort of just go and try and 50-50 the smite. Smite is incredibly early, was not able to pick it up, but a valiant effort. And then obviously you have the Herald, so at least they can try and get something out of it, and they take out that tower. Now we see the engage though coming back from the press. The Blade to actually try and disengage, and James Stokes walking out, going very low, but just dying, just not able to get the passive proc off. But it is a 1-for-1 as for the moment. Right, using a lot of attack speed there. Wow, really getting damage out from the passive, but does end up dropping, makes it into a 2-for-2 though, probably evens that one out. Now Initiator with a very late cleanse, we'll have to see is that going to be his downfall, because the ignite damage is coming through, was not able to cleanse that one. Final charge coming out there from the Ari, looking to maybe pick up the skill, taking a lot of damage. Lovely charm to cancel the ultimate, and a very well-deserved kill from the Ari there. It was pretty well played by Initiator. Really nice Zonius to try and bait the Ari in, but excellent timing on that charm. Able to cancel the life form disintegration ray and pick up that kill. Now Gorngulate trying to steal away that blue buff. Not going to be able to do it, and an Olaf with a blue buff is very dangerous. But it looks like he knows that. Pops the ultimate, pops the Ragnarok, just starts running in. Knock up, not going to do anything. Gorngulate forced to flash away. Sniper Princess doesn't care. He has a flash of his own and follows that one up over the wall. Now we see 3 people maybe moving towards the mid lane. James Stokes does have the subjugate available, but not the flash. We'll have to see if that matters. The hook does not connect, and so no flash, no foul. James Stokes is going to live through this one. Not in too much danger quite just yet. No flash available for Tengoku or Chicken God, so they can't really surprise him with an engage. So they're just going to play it pretty bluntly, just walk straight into this mid lane. Tower plating has now fallen as we hit the 14-minute 13 mark, and so they're just going to start hitting onto this normal tower. The pillar going to be used to try and disengage a little bit, and it works pretty effectively. That, alongside the wave clear from Initiator, does mean that the mid lane tower is going to survive. Hertfordshire are A-okay with how this game is going. They do not need to push any of their advantages too hard. So take a second to look at this gold here. They are 4,000 gold in the lead at 14 minutes. That is pretty good, although that might be about to change. Maybe that number will go down as James Stokes and Initiator find out Chicken God. They're going to get the knockup. They're going to throw down the Subjugate as well. And then, boop, Initiator, laser, and the passive proc manages to pick up a kill. So it's no longer a 4k lead. Yeah, it's a 3.7. If you're Invulnerables, that's kind of how you need to start playing this game out, right? You have really good CC, you can get good picks off, and so they're going to go for it. And again, I say they get picks off, and we see up top, the Piercing Arrow is channeling Jellybean, trying to juke, but not able to shut down. Didn't quite catch how much gold that was, but it goes into Rye's pocket there. He is A-okay with that. Like I said, picks, the Trundle Pillar, Vel'Koz's entire kit, Varus's Chains of Corruption. These are all useful abilities that are all going to help you get back into the game, and that's definitely what's happening. I mean, I wanted to show the gold for the players for quite a while now, but this looks like it's just going to keep changing as Ryan moves on to Tower. Liam trying to defend it, but he knows there's not too much he can do in this 1v2 situation, so immediately just backing off. But Ryan actually maybe wanting this fight, because it's no longer a 1v2, it's a 2v2, flashing, healing, trying to get away, but now he's stunned on up. CJ Shaw with a perfectly timed Monsoon, but it's not enough to keep Ryan alive. CJ Shaw trying to throw out some fancy footwork, but it's not going to be enough to deal with a Spirit Rush coming out from an Ari. So Tengoku will pick up that kill. The tower does fall, but all in all, Hertfordshire are the ones staying worth in all chat for that one. However, they've already taken the tower top lane. The Rift Herald was already secured, so there's not too much they can do to capitalize on it. But they're definitely going to be okay with blowing both the summoners of Rye. Definitely the player doing the best on the team at this current moment for Invulnerables Blue. And so they're going to think, yep, this is great. He's got no summoners. He's a very mobile carrier. CJ Shaw has no Monsoon available either. It's going to be pretty easy to try and pick him off and just farm him a little bit now. He has got 2 items. That is pretty strong. We look at the comparison over to Jellybean. Jelly has just a Triforce and a tier. CDR boots. I really hope no one does it. Okay, James Stokes gets out, so I can flame. Oh, James Stokes, I'm trying to flame him, man. James Stokes going to go and get caught out by some CC, throws out the Subjugate, and it will be enough to keep him alive. It looks like he might be positioning for a bit of an aggressive flash. Chicken God actually not getting the auto off in time to get himself cancelled by the knockup, so actually it worked out pretty well. The knockup just a little bit too early, which means the auto was cancelled, which means he didn't take the cone, but now here's a TP from Sniper Princess going for a 2v2 alongside the Sejuani. Wow, James Stokes just goes down so quickly, and now Gorngulate taking the damage as well. And yep, it's a double kill for the Sejuani. Right, trades over a kill as the Chains of Corruption just come up, so he throws it out to get the shutdown onto Tengoku, but it's still in favor of Hertfordshire. They know, which is why they're going to take their jump on there. Olaf down to try and take out this mountain dragon. And it looks like both teams are okay with this because whilst Hertfordshire stay on the dragon, Invulnerables stay in the mid lane. They want to trade that Drake for a mid lane tower. I really think that that's probably in favour of Hertfordshire, and this might be in favour of Hertfordshire as well, as Rai is taking a lot of damage. He gets shielded up by the Tempest, and again drops as he dies to the Ezreal, so making it a 1-for-1. Liam has something else to say about that as he's running it in the 1v2 situation. That's 1v3 as Gurengulate TP's in behind, but that just prompts Liam to flash forward. Now it looks like they're going to try and collapse onto Cho'Gath, who's tanky, but maybe not quite tanky enough. Stunned up by the Permafrost, and I can say the same for James Stokes. He tries to flash away, and he's going to get out with the peel from CJ Shaw. Liam really wants that kill, but he's going to go and back off, get away from that one. 8-1 and 3. It's not often you see that, trying to back away from people. I've actually heavily disagreed with the build here from Liam, because he's gone for a very early Warmogs, and usually you don't have the 3,000 health that you need to activate that as your second item, but because he's just such a high level, and because he has the Ruby Crystal now picked up, that one's going to be turned on. He's going to be able to get to the healing passive from that Warmogs. And now I can actually go back to what I wanted to say about Ezreal's cooldown boots. I totally forgot. CDR boots on Ezreal are not a great purchase, because also you probably should have finished the Manamune before the Triforce, and realistically instead of Triforce, especially versus like Trundle Cho'Gath, Iceborne Gauntlet is a really strong pickup. That could be a bit of preference, but Iceborne Gauntlet is cheaper and gives defensive stats whilst you don't lose that much damage, but that's for another time. Manamune, you want to get it as early as possible, really, because it's going to help you stack your tier faster. The CDR boots, you don't really need them because 30% cooldown reduction is enough on Ezreal. His Q has a 3.8 second cooldown at 30% CDR with a max rank at level 9. And when it hits, it reduces its own cooldown, obviously, by 1 second, as well as the rest of his abilities. Because of this, it almost perfectly lines up with the cooldown of Triforce and, Iceborne Gauntlet, Lichbane, the Sheen items. The Spellblade Spellblade CD. Can I go? No, okay, Tengoku's gonna be okay. There's just so many kills in this game. Sometimes you just have to stay on. Yeah, okay, they're gonna happen. You just can't mention them all. But the Spellblade CD. Ooh, it's been a long day. Spellblade CD, 2.5 seconds. Ezreal's effective Q CD, 2.8 seconds. It's close enough. 30% CDR is fine. But if you go for a double tier build, if you look to build the Muramana and the Seraph's Embrace, you just get 40% CDR anyway. The Seraph's Embrace gives 20%. The Sheen item that you build will give 20%. You do not need CDR boosts. And I was saying earlier about how Ezreal is going to get a lot of burst damage, which is really going to help out with this Thresh, especially if he builds. Super Prince is just running in straight for the 1v3. You really have to question how this decision's going down. And again, Rai picks up a kill as he drops. Now, Hook connecting in, which means CJ Shaw's going to drop as well. And I thought this engage was very questionable, but that is a very tanky Olaf, and so he can live in the middle of that 1v3, and he does. He runs in. Well, he drops eventually, but he lives long enough. Manages to pick up that kill, and actually this is very advantageous for the Hertfordshire squad. Now moving in, they managed to pick up one tower, and Gurengulate has realized maybe it's time to call it. He's going to recall. They're going to not be able to pick up that second threat. Instead, they go where they have the wave, moving up to the top tower. I wonder if the Baron could have been an option, to be perfectly honest. They have the Infernal and the Mountain Dragon. It's not like they have something like a Vayne or a Kai'Sa that can really DPS that Baron. Ezreal not a great champion for that, but you have got your options. And when you've killed 3 of the enemy members and only lost 1, that's usually a pretty good call. Although, obviously, Vel'Koz, a lot of AoE can really clean up that pit. So they walk up there. Maybe they're trying to bait it out because they're recalling by the pit. This is really dangerous. If they actually do recall, and Invulnerables know this, there is a chance they can just rush the Baron. Now, Tengoku has recalled. The rest of Hertfordshire are sticking around. They're throwing out hooks. They're letting their presence be known. Okay, we can't see the Baron. Brilliant. Thank you, right? Excellent spectacle line. But they're just going to go for it. I mean, no idea what health it's at, but I'm assuming it's pretty high because it looks like Invulnerables wants to back off. Now, Sniper Princess, it works for 1v3, but 1v5, I can't say it's going to go the same. He just runs in, just immediately gets dropped, and now the Baron restarted. looks like we're going to see... I'm sorry, I have no idea what health the Baron is at, but it's going pretty well. Now, Tengoku throws out the charm. They're looking to pick up the kill onto Guangulate. He's just going to stay alive, but everyone's getting pretty low. But now the life form disintegration ray comes out trying to destroy through a team. They picked up the Thresh. They picked up the Ari. Now they're grabbing the Sejuani as well. They've lost their ADC, but they're going to grab the shutdown onto Initiator. A huge amount of gold. As meanwhile, James Stokes trying to chase down Jellyby. Not going to be able to find him, but this is the moment that was needed by Invulnerables Blue. They are very happy with this situation. They go, look, we didn't get the Baron, but we did get a lot of shutdowns. We got a lot of gold. This is going to start to drag them back into the game. You know, it was 4,000 gold deficit at 12 minutes. Now it's a 4,000 gold deficit at 23 minutes. That doesn't sound great, but you think the snowball nature that's just built into League of Legends as a game, you would expect to see that grow. To have it stay the same after 10 minutes is a pretty good thing. Now, Sniper Princess coming in might want to try and steal this away, but very patient on the smite. James Stokes, he knows absolutely doesn't have to rush it. There is no threat, especially when Sniper Princess is that kind of range, so he just waits for the undertow and then smites afterwards. Goes for 300 health, but that is fine if you're James Stokes. And, of course, if you are Invulnerables. Now, that Mountain Dragon, really efficient. You've got Rai. He's building a lot of on-hit, like I said he would earlier on. You know, he's got the Gwynsues, he's got the Blade. With a Mountain Dragon, you are going to tear through this Baron. Again, I'm sorry, I have no idea if they were tearing through it before, but, you know, when they get to it, they're going to tear into it now with that Mountain Dragon. See, this Baron, it's definitely going to become the focal point of this game. And it's definitely something that Invulnerables are just going to do better than Hertfordshire. Like I said, they have the Ari. Sorry, not the Ari. Well, the Ari as well, but the Ezreal. This is not a high epic monster DPS ADC like the Varus, like Kai'Sa, like Thane. Anyone that can build Gwynsu's Blade is going to have a good time versus this monster. And now we're seeing the fight that might change this game right now. Those is in the middle, and now life on this integration ray trying to take down Tengoku, but a stun will cancel out. CJ Shaw gives his life throughout that monsoon, and Rai will be soon to follow. The Triumph Heal's going to keep him alive for just a little bit, but it's not quite enough. Initiator going for one on the back of the fight, and now Liam able to get out with that lantern. Thank you, Chicken God. James Stokes, he wants a little bit more. The Righteous Glory popped by Guangulate, but not going to be able to catch up. But look at the healing Ocean Drake, red buff on Chicken God. Warmogs on Sejuani, they are just going right back up into this fight. But no one's going to be able to do the Baron when it's only the tanks that have lived through the fight. It's kind of hard to start picking up objectives off the back of that. So again, not too much really going out there for either team, but it is better for Invulnerables. If you are on the back foot, you are happy with going even. The longer the game goes, the less a small goal difference matters. You know, something like 4K, that was a lot at 12 minutes. But now, that's not really too much. I mean, again, when you hit 6 items, you can be 20k down. If everyone's got 6 items, it really doesn't matter, you know? And so they are okay with that, because that just stalls the game out. The game will last another minute now whilst you wait for everyone to respawn. That is fine for Invulnerables. Meanwhile, we take a second just to look over at the state of Hertfordshire. What are they doing with that gold lead? What we're seeing? Twin Shadows picked up by Tengoku, which is an interesting one, but he doesn't have Glacial Augment. But Trundle throwing out the Subjugate onto the Sejuani passive. It's pretty good, but they aren't quite able to pick up the kill onto her. Instead, they go for Tengoku. Now Olaf running on in. Again, just melted by Rai, who is sitting back in this fight. He's not taking any damage. He's throwing it out onto Liam. Able to pick up that kill. Now he looks for another. The piercing arrow does not connect. CJ Shaw walking up very aggressively, but James Stokes able to body block. And for the first time all match, I've wanted to say it for a while, didn't quite have a chance in so many fights. Rai, he drops at the start of every fight. He walks in, he's playing melee range Varus. It doesn't help when you're versus an Olaf, but in the one fight that he doesn't, he is able to take out the massive Sejuani, and now he's looking to take out the Baron. Initiator is trying to keep everyone away at the backside. Let's see how that one goes. The smite goes down, and Initiator is still alive, so he must have done a pretty good job of disengaging that fight. And Invulnerables, 5 for 3, they pick up the Baron. This is good for them. This is bringing them back. Just take a second to compare everyone across the board. You know, items. Sejuani obviously huge, but James Stokes, he's okay with that. He's playing Trundle. He's going to take her stats. He's more than happy to see that happen. Look at the ADCs, 12 kills coming out for Rai. Himself a nice bounty there. Looking to build towards, I believe, an Infinity Edge with that BF sword and pickaxe to go with the crit that he's built from that rune. As this is really going well, he's going to start dishing out huge AoE damage. Gwinsu's going to stack really, really quickly. He's got the on-hit. Now he's building crit. This is a late-game machine build, and they are going to the late game. They're bringing this game out. They are dragging it out. They're making it happen. They're making this game go the way they want. We look at Sniper Princess. He's picked up a Death's Dance. That is a questionable item, to be sure. It's very snowbally. I think it's a little bit too solo queue. We see he's running into these fights. The 1v5 and he's just melting. Now, that Death's Dance might be helping in the 1v2s, the 1v3s, but the 1v5s? That's not optimal. Twin Shadow is picked up by Tengoku. Usually a third item. He's going to get knocked up by his fine. He's too tanky. He's going to be able to dash away. Cannot say the same for Jellyby, though. As the Chain of Corruption's just going to lock him down and just hand over that kill to the Invulnerables side. They're moving in. Looking to take away this tower. And of course they have the Baron. So they're going to be able to do it pretty well. That's a lot of damage coming out onto Tengoku there. Who is pillared away but able to, of course, take the expertly placed lantern by Chicken Dog. Who's really... Yeah, we haven't had a chance to talk about it, but he's really been on top of it with those lanterns. Really doing a great job saving everyone all the time. I've said quite a lot of times the lantern is to let someone escape, and that's really just a testament to Chicken Dog. Very comfortable on this thresh, it would appear. We'll have to see, though, are lanterns going to be able to win them the game? Are they going to be able to turn this game? We look at the gold. It's now 500 gold in favour of Invulnerables. After they're at a 4k deficit for almost the entire game. They've really done a good job turning this one around. Now they're going to look to maybe try and close it out. James Stokes, of course, up. He's hooked. He's ignited, so he will not be healing. Cannot say the same for CJ Shaw, who's thrown down the Monsoon. Rai is flashed in incredibly aggressively and pays the blood price. As you recall, as will Initiator. Very James Stokes there's Gruangulate. Now maybe he thinks he's bitten off a little bit more than true, but he's looking to actually get down the fight. Beast is available. Not going to be able to flash in further. I think he was looking to get Tengoku there. Flash wasn't just quite available. I think you can see it, but I believe that cooldown not up. And maybe a little bit of a throw from Invulnerables, but it just means we're getting a bit of a spicy game. Just as I start to say that they are ahead, it turns out that, of course, they are now behind. Only 1k down, though. Like I said, the longer the game goes, gold leads matter less and less. It's, 1k better than 4k, right? But it looks like this lead is going to start to expand. Hertfordshire White moving in, taking out these towers. Looks like they're obviously going to be able to pick up this inhibitor here. And I like this, dropping a ward, all right? You've got Olaf. And I said that Olaf is the Death Dance that's too aggressive. Ooh, flash engage attempted, but expertly disengaged there by Liam and by Ari. And of course, Blast Cone, which we for some reason just can't see, are going to be able to get Liam out there, but Portsmouth really want this, but not going to be able to get away. Sorry, this is quite confusing because it's Hertfordshire White, and this a lot of the players on this Portsmouth team used to play on a team in a tournament that I used to cast. They're called Portsmouth White, and it's getting kind of confusing. We've got different colours, same colour. Oh, right, actually stealing away blue buff with the piercing arrows. I don't think it was what he wanted to do, but definitely going to be happy to take it. And Portsmouth playing very aggressively here. The Invulnerables blue roster, even though they just sort of lost that last fight and lost their inhibitor, before the minions spawn, they're looking to see what they can do. They've got Gruangulate dealing with that one wave from the mid lane, and they're going to see if they can actually trade away the inhibitor here. I don't know if it's going to work, though. That hook very close to taking down Rai. Now, Rai doesn't have his flash up. If he gets hooked, it's kind of over for him. But maybe we can still have flash will play a little bit safer. We'll have to see. No, instead, Liam going to walk straight into him. The charm going to connect. Again, CJ Shaw doing his best to keep Rai alive, but not going to be able to happen there. Sniper Princess picks up the kill onto James Stokes, and Liam is looking for a little bit more. Does not have the ultimate available. Used it earlier to disengage. However, Sniper Princess has a good old-fashioned flash undertow, but not able to connect the second one there. Jellyby shifting forward aggressively. They're trying to get this team on the run. Again, this is a moment where Iceborne Gauntlet would have been a good item. But it looks like the ultimate available now from Liam. He throws it out, but it's onto the only target with Cleanse. Initiator able to disengage that one, but the hook goes onto the Cho'Gath. He's a tanky target, but he's still 1v4. It's a good attempt from Initiator. The life form, this integration ray, chunking out a lot of members, but they're just too far away. Jellyby with a very aggressive shift once again, moving in forwards, but look at the timers. Rai, James Stokes, they're spawning in 5 seconds. They may be able to defend this one. Initiator, he's got a little bit longer, 44 seconds as he just dies there to the Ari, and now the towers are turned onto by Hertfordshire. But here comes Rai. He's throwing out there. He takes down Chicken God. James Stokes taking out the Ari as well. Olaf moving in on the flank and just immediately demolishes the Varus. Sets his sights onto CJ and is able to pick him up as well. Liam going very low, but Triumph Healing will keep him alive. James Stokes not going to be kept alive by any Triumph Healing as he's not able to get any kills. The ace coming through for Hertfordshire, and I think this might just be the game. We have Gruangulates spawning in 7 seconds, but Sniper Princess going pretty low. He's farming up on the wave, just trying to heal up with his death stance. With his W, Olaf, a lot of lifesteal in that champion, but now the Ungulate is here. Is he going to be able to save the game here? He has the feast available. He throws it onto Liam, not quite able to pick up the kill, but the flash, the Vorpal spikes, they will pick it up. Now Sniper Princess, he's very low. This is when Olaf is in his elements, but the Ragnarok means that the spawn from Initiator is just able to save the game. Nexus exposed, only 2 towers remaining on the map as the third one falls into the bottom lane. It's looking like a rough spot for the Portsmouth side. We'll have to see how are they going to fight this game back. The Baron has spawned. We see Rai, Infinity Edge, and a rapid fire cannon getting a lot of aggressive items here. He's going to tear through teamfights. He's going to tear through the Baron. If he can stay alive, there's no Merc Sim, no CC reduction, no tenacity. Even Bloodthirster, something like Guardian Angel would really be useful versus this sort of pick composition that we're seeing here from Hertfordshire. But instead, he wants the damage, in which he's going to start putting that onto the Baron. However, he is frontline. He's tanking it, so it's getting reduced. I have no idea what kind of health this thing's at, but it's gone down. Rai has picked up the Baron there for his team. There's no contest available from Hertfordshire. Liam and Sniper Princess were both dead, so Portsmouth capitalizing really well on this. I was told ahead of time about this game, is that this is a quality game. I said, when I was asking Invulnerables, I said, look, can I have just like a decent game, a non-clown game? And this game started off, we see 3 kills in 3 lanes all at the same time. I'm thinking, maybe this one's going to be a little bit rough, but this game's getting pretty good. Right off that, we actually see a monster for one time. This is a good time. Thank you, Riot. Riot going to be able to pick that one up. Now the team moving as a unit. It's 5v5. Everyone has respawned, but the Baron is on the side of Portsmouth. We see that wards were not dropped by Hertfordshire in the basin. And once they took the inhib, they dropped a ward there. Maybe I was thinking something Sniper Princess could teleport to because he has an aggressive build. Although has now realized the error of his ways and gone for a bit of a more tanky-oriented build. Meanwhile, James Stokes trying to run down Liam, but not going to waste his subjugates too early. Instead, just blowing the passive with that chilling smite. Rai, very far forward again. He's the one taking the poke here from the Ezreal. Going to be able to body block out, and he will take the stun as well. Look how big the Sejuani is with the Gargoyle Stoneplate, taking a lot of damage. But it's percent max health damage from Rai, so he tears through it. A second kill, a third kill, picked up by the Vel'Koz, make that 4 as the Ezreal drops as well. It's a huge bit of chunk damage onto the Blight stacks, so a double kill secured for Rai. Flash, Pillar, it's going to block Tengoku, but he will be able to get into the fountain, but I don't think Tengoku can hold this. He's in a 1v4 situation on the Ahri. It's a low damage build with the Twin Shadows. He cannot turn this around, and the Nexus is going to fall. DPS being thrown out, everyone's playing for a little bit of KDA, got to save the game. Rai wants to look a little bit better, so he'll pick up that kill, and the game ends. The Nexus drops after a long fought 35 minutes. Portsmouth able to turn that one around and pick up the victory here in the NSE. Oh good god, that game was an interesting one. There's a lot of kills. That's the most kills I've seen in a competitive game that I've casted for quite a while. So I was meant to be drinking throughout the whole of that, but I really just did not have a moment to... I'm sorry, I couldn't really showcase too much analysis on that. There's a lot of kills. Maybe I looked a little bit better as a play-by-play. I was very rusty on that one, but hopefully this has been a decent enough submission. I hope you enjoy. Good people at the NSE, and I hope you are kind and fair judges. Without that, I bid you adieu and hopefully hear from you later.